What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Golden Dice Podcast, and I didn't even look up what number we're at, but I'm your host, Jack, and I'm with Flock the Falcon and Brian the Scuttle. How are you two tonight?
Anxious.
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 I don't know about y'all, but work has been so slow this week. Just
Yes.
like waiting and waiting and waiting. I'm just ready. I am so ready.
27, by the way, episode.
I just got there. YouTube's been down all day. Or like the last half of the day, rather. Having some problems over there. But yeah, 27.
Falcon, how about you?
Good.
Your sign is off. Everything okay over there?
Yeah, it won't work. I don't know why it won't turn on.
You always go to turn it on as soon as I hit record. Like, it's never on before. It's always like, hey, we're live in 3, 2. Flock like picks up his remote, turns around. But yeah, this is Wednesday night. Oh, we got a rave going.
Uh-oh.
It's like dead. Oh, that's sad.
It's Wednesday night. We've got a midnight release coming up tomorrow night. So anybody can check our YouTube. We did schedule a live. 12:30 is optimistic. More like probably 12:45, 1 a.m. is when we'll get going. But if you're around, if you're awake, I know East Coasters, you'll probably be asleep. But our Pacific West Coast friends, there's a good chance of you tuning in around 9, 10 and see what we open. Try to kill time until your midnight releases.
Please watch us not open a showcase.
I'll say it's going to be very entertaining when none of us open a showcase again. Because
Please don't say that. We opened like 40-something boxes between the four of us last time. Half of those are mine.
And we had 3. I mean, that's on par. 36 boxes.
Yeah, but over half of them were mine, and I only got 1. So I'm unhappy about that. Personally.
Fair. Yeah, I'm not going to probably open both cases that night. Unlikely. But, 2 cases me, 2 cases Brian, a case Scott, a case Flock are all what we're picking up Thursday night into Friday. So we'll have plenty to open, at least a case from me. We'll see about a showcase. Yeah. That's all I got. I'm ready to be disappointed. And then if I do pull a showcase, dude, it's going to be Finn. It's going to be Finn. I know it. And I'm going to be so mad.
After personally, because
I'm gonna get Jabba.
Pharma.
Get who? Jabba?
Yeah, you would.
I'm gonna get Jabba.
Jabba's a good one. He's solid.
I'm never gonna play him.
True. You don't even play IG88. You've been yapping about him for years.
I play him. I play him in Twin
Sons.
In Twin Sons, yeah.
And he still does nothing.
If you get Java, we'll have a conversation.
True.
That's all.
Yeah. I also half apologize to anybody who's been like, where's Golden Dice been a little bit? It's just been hard with kind of our schedules. My work has been pretty busy gearing up for release, and then I'm also away next week. And then we did do a tier list for legendaries, and it got lost. So that is gone forever. And that was kind of discouraging, so I was like, I'm going to take a few days break. I don't feel like really doing anything. But then I posted a Kira video today. Got a Han video tomorrow. This will be Friday probably, maybe Thursday night.
If we're talking about tuning into the midnight stream, it's got to be tomorrow.
True,
right?
Yeah, it's got to go tomorrow. Yeah, we'll send it out tomorrow. We can do a game. We can do a deck tech and a podcast tomorrow.
The people are eating good.
People are feasting, dude. And then the midnight stream, and then Friday, depending on when Deploy Your Leaders Gaming's box comes in, I might do a box opening for him to promote his stuff as well. And shout out to him, dude. Deploy Your Leader. Brian's power went out, and I don't know if you saw on Twitter, he borrowed power from his neighbor, who obviously he got permission from to do that, and he's printing stuff and shipping things to make sure everything's still out on time. So this man is hit by a hurricane, and still printing and shipping and getting everybody's orders out, which is insane.
What a
Man versus nature.
I've related it to that scene in The Office where Jim and Dwight are trying to pitch to the one guy, and the guy's like, I don't know, they just give me better deals. They call their place, and they get put on hold, and then they call Dunder Mifflin, and Kelly just starts talking.
Oh my God, Jim, hi!
And to me, that's what it is. I'm sure, you can get it other places. Plenty of single markets out there, but Brian is truly the GOAT and will care about every single order that comes through him.
100%.
But we have topics to get to. We have things to talk about. We have stuff to do. And one of the things that I am really interested in talking about is, especially as we get into set 2, the 3 of us and plus Scott, so the 4 of us are, I'd say plus Scott because he's not here tonight. He's at a Phillies game. In this heat, ridiculous. Are going to Gen Con.
Nope.
And we're trying to get better. And one of the best parts about a team is that as a team, you should strive to get better and help each other get better because that makes you all better, right? If I stomp Brian every time and never teach him anything, that doesn't help me at all. When Brian gets better, I get better. When Flock maybe somehow gets better, Brian gets better, I get better. Flock, I just called you the worst. How does it make you feel?
I mean, who won a pre-release?
True.
Who won a pre-release and then in the car was like, does that work with Boba? Does that work with this guy?
I don't know how it worked. I just kind of did it, you know? It just works.
Me and Shane guided you.
The old cable.
So one of the big parts that we want to do, especially I feel like for Gold Dice specifically, is I want to help Flock out. And how do we help Flock out? Well, I was doing bedtime, and we're just going to teach Flock to read. ABC 3PO Star Wars. And this may sound familiar because this was the lost intro of Legendary One.
I was like, where's this going?
I
forgot.
I just remembered.
So A, see, that's the letter A for Akbar. B, Boba Fett. That's who you played. Boba Fett was your leader. And then we joked that Flock was going to rank everything in A tier because we only did A.
F is for finalizer.
Yeah, F is for finalizer. S is for Snoke.
D is for the dark saber.
Yeah. It was something.
Where he actually put in D.
Which, half recap, because at this point we probably won't record it because we missed some of the magic that happened with it. But basically, there were a few times where we were way off, and I say we also had our buddy Shane on here, who's Twin Sons on YouTube. Me, Brian, and Shane were all very close, and Flock was way off, specifically
4 letters
on Crate Dragon, because he didn't fully read it to realize that you could do damage to the base. He's like, well, what if they kill it and they don't have any units out? Well, then I'll just do that damage to the base, Flock. And the other was the Darksaber.
Base for 10.
He's like, there's only one Mando. And I was like, there's many Mandalorians.
Who else is a Mandalorian?
And you guys like Sabine?
Like, flip Sabine, give a Darksaber.
I was like, yep, that sounds really good. Never mind.
And then the other opposite one where Flock was high on it, we were all down, was Rule with Respect.
Yeah.
And that was like the other big one.
Yeah, I still kind of like it. Y'all are gonna feel sorry when I hit you with that spice.
Someone hit me with it in pre-release, and then I killed that unit and got all my things back and still had my turn. All right. Well, we don't really have anything other crazy to report from that. We were pretty in line with, I feel like, what people said. I mean, we think Poe, Snoke, Darksaber, Crate Dragon are like kind of the top 4. A lot of middle stuff, and then the bad stuff is like all the green. Roll with Respect, Finalizer, whatever that fortune costs.
Endless Legion,
Second Chance are all pretty rough, but other stuff I still think there's some things like I was pretty high on DJ and things like that. So legendaries feel a little bit more niche, but there's some good ones in there. Definitely some weird ones. But yeah, moving past that, might as well recap our pre-release, and then we're also going to talk about the rules update, expectations for set 2, and then the con pack that was just spoiled this morning. So pre-release, I mean, Flock, I guess you're bragging, dude. Kick it off, baby.
All right. Yeah, so the first pre-release.
All righty.
All right. Yeah, all righty. Okay. Yeah. First pre-release was pretty good. I got to play the new Boba, and he works much better than I expected. So, was playing a few times, so to realize there's a lot of cards with the keywords, and I had a lot of cards with keywords on them, so I was just taking that out there. But also, I got pretty good pulls on some of my things. So, like the Discerning Veteran. See there? Yeah. I got 3 of them in the deck. I was able to pull 3 of them. I know they're commons, but very good.
I know you had 3 of them.
Oh, you want to play something? I'll take it. And then they play something else. Oh, I'll just take it. You can't recapture them if I keep taking them. And then also, Cassian won me some games. Smuggling and Cassian was some fun. I had 1 misplay with that. That as soon as I was like, oh, I should have done that, and look over Jack. Jack's like, yeah, I don't know why you didn't do that. I'm like, well, I'm still learning the cards.
You had the Nexus out. Could have got lethal if there was another
Yeah.
red unit. Like you could have smuggled Cassian, or even you had like something else in hand to play. I think too.
Well,
Like,
no. So
The
'cause
Nexus.
the crate dragon
Nexus,
would have
Nexus.
done.
The
Crate
Nexus,
dragon
yeah.
would have done the 6 damage to do the base, but they had a sentinel. So I should have smuggled out Cassian and then attacked with Cassian to take out the sentinel and then win with the Nexian. But I attacked the Nexian first to get rid of the
Nexu.
Nexu, whatever, Nexus, League of Legends. That's what popped in my head. I just think of.
can we recall and protect the Nexus? And then
Yeah,
hit?
so it kind of looks like the one of the guys you steal in the jungle and stuff. So anyway, yeah, and then I ended up attacking with Cassian into the base and then not doing lethal, and then but I won next turn on. I think I milled.
Yeah, it didn't really matter.
Milled
Yeah, that game
Shane.
was going to mill, and you had like
Yeah.
10 damage, and he was at 20 something.
Yeah. So
Like high 20s.
Yep. But also the really cool play I got off was the person played the Aquartines Assault Cruiser.
Actens.
Or Architens. Architens. I can't remember. Okay.
The
Well, the
8-drop.
Assault Cruiser. Yeah, the 8-drop ambush 7/8. That when you kill the unit, it goes into your resources. So Shane played that, and then with Boba, I had Boba. I took initiative, and then he passed. And then I started off where I played it, and then I gave it +1, so it did. So it's an 8/8. So I was able to trade and kill it before I even got to attack with it. I got in my resources. So that was really fun with Boba. Is ambushes can all be +1, which is very, very useful. So I can see Boba working pretty good with anything ambush. Like that already has ambush on it. And question, speaking of that, if you have like ECL, it gets ambush keywords, so then it can do its. I think you did it to me, right, Jack? So that's pretty good.
That was you and Brian with timely
Yeah.
intervention. Timely intervention will give the
yeah.
the unit the ambush keyword,
Yeah.
and the
That's what it
ECL
is,
would work
yeah.
similarly.
Yeah, so that could be pretty interesting combos. But yeah, ended up going 4-0 and had fun.
Yeah, I didn't. There was no prizing for that event other than like the judges and early OP packs. So I'll go ahead and say I didn't try. That's why I lost. But I pulled Jabba's Rancor and Jabba, so I like wanted to try that out. And I had a few of those like 3/4 cost 1 less if you have a bounty. And I was like, oh, there's some good synergy here. Never saw them when I wanted to. And the games that I saw the Rancor, I won, and the games where I didn't, I lost. So I went 2-2. In reality, I probably should have just played like Gideon. I think him coming out at, what's he come out at 5?
5.
5 is a 3/6 with Overwhelm, and I did have like good amount of 1 through 3 cost units in my pool. And I still could have used the Rancor for Jabba's Rancor for closing, not the double red one, the green villain one. So it's like I probably should have just played him, but I really wanted to try Jabba and see how he felt. But there were so many times, gosh, it was very limited when I actually got Jabba's bounty off. And even this set felt slower than set 1's pre-release. So like me getting to 7 didn't feel as much of a struggle, but it was like so many times there's just like, all right, I got to claim and then remove, or I got to claim and like clear something. Like I never really had the opportunity to like claim, bounty, attack, because then I'd just be eating too much damage most of the time. I forgot. I think I beat a Boba, and then I beat a Rey, and then I lost to Flock on Boba, and then I lost to a Cad Bane, who just had like too much pings for me to like keep anything on the board. I even got the Rancor out, but then he had like Cad Bane, IG-11, and like Zuckuss, which was like similar to what happened when I played you, Brian. It was a decent game. You could even argue I was ahead, and I liked the Gar Saxon deck better. But it was just like too much. Cad is, even with him being a 2, essentially, with Raid 2, he still just pumps out a lot of damage, and it's hard to kill with that 8 HP booty.
Thick.
Yeah. And then what?
His booty needs no introduction.
Then Saturday we did 2. I went 1 and 2 with the first, playing Boba. I just like didn't really have like any pools, so I was just like, I'll play red green. I got like a Cassian. I got one of the ships. But I never really could get anything going in those games. Didn't like have good closers. Like I didn't have like Mercenary Company or the Covetous Rivals or whatever Flock had just mentioned, the Mandalorian Squad, whatever it is.
Oh, the Clan Challengers.
Clan Challengers, yeah. I didn't have any of them, so it was like my top end was pretty poo-poo. And then I played a Gar-Saxon deck, which was like, I didn't really have a lot of upgrades. I did have one Brutal Traditions, and then I had some like yellow with shielded units, so I was just trying that out, and that was neat. Like, I thought it went fine, and I went 2-1 with that. So 4-4 over the weekend, but there was no prizing on any of them, really. I think the 2-1, I got 3 packs or something like that.
Eventually, we didn't even get those then.
Yes, I still have not received them. They are IOUs because Asmodee shorted our store with like the prizing kits, I guess.
I did the same as Jack, actually. Same records across the weekend, 2-2, 1-2, 2-1. So Friday night I went with Hondo Blue, because my options were green-blue because I had Snoke, and I pulled Hondo and Jabba, but I certainly wasn't going to play Jabba. I'm not as brave as Jack is. And Hondo was good to a certain degree, but I kind of gave myself a little bit of a disadvantage because when you're smuggling things in, which I did, fairly frequently to get the XP, you are decking yourself. So I did deck myself a few times. I went 2-2 that one, and the first one I lost to a Fennec who we were both. It's a new event, whatever. He wasn't playing Fennec correctly, which is fine. I didn't realize till like midway through the game anyway. But second game I like piled Hondo up, got into like a 7-11 with raid 1. So that was just once Hondo's out, especially in limited, unless there's like a Rival's Fall or Fall of the Dragon, there's not much you can do with him, or to stop him rather.
Fall of the Dragon's non-leader, isn't it?
Is it? I don't know.
Pretty sure it's 4 attack non-leader. Because I remember Rival's Fall being the only thing that like hits leaders.
Yep, non-leader. You're right. Yep. So unless you got a Rival's Fall, you're SOL. But then I played Shane, and Shane played a double blue Ray deck, and he just like lived forever. And I decked myself with Hondo. And then I don't remember what I played for the 4th round, but it was like, oh no, that was the one where I got stuck. I got like hard locked, soft locked because I had 29 on the enemy base, and I just couldn't get that last damage in. But I finally got it. So went 2-2, got bubbled out. I think I was 9th. And then Saturday, I went, me, Scott, and Jack all went Boba Red. But my top end was kind of bad. I didn't really pull anything that was above 6, I think. What was my top end for that deck? I truly don't remember. Yeah, nothing over 6 for both games, because then I played a Cad Bane Red, and went 2-1 there. The deck I played at the end of the night was just bonkers. It was I think it was a Boba Red as well, but it had like Poe, 2 IGs, a Wrecker was in there. Like it was bananas. That game was crazy. I did not make a lot of headway there. But yeah, I ended up with some decent pulls from my boxes, and it was okay. It was alright. I think there's not. It's a high bar, the first pre-release set, because that one was a ton of fun, super memorable. Then I got great pulls. This one I just got okay pulls.
Came back down to earth. Yeah, I was almost going to ask your guys' opinion on like, aside from like how you did, I guess, in a sense of like, how do you feel like set 1 versus set 2 pre-release went? For me, like, my initial reaction was that like set 2 is just easier to like just jam the best cards, which like you could argue is worse, right? It's just like not a lot of thinking, you just jam the best cards. Whereas this one, it was like, personally, I just felt like I kept getting a lot of misses. Like I would pull Bo-Katan as like a leader and get like no Mandalorians, or I would pull Cad Bane and get like no Underworld triggers, or like I'd pull Boba Fett and get no like keywords. It was just like,
yeah,
my leader with the pools that they had almost like never lined up, and it was a little frustrating at times. Like I feel like I did enjoy set 2 less than set 1, but I don't necessarily know that it was worse. It's just, I mean, I guess my randomness, but it was, I mean, 3 boxes, it's 18 packs. It was just like all of them were missed. When I would buy the extra ones, those were always good sealed pulls. Like our Friday one, they had extras, so this, anybody wants one can buy one, starting with like the first one down. First place you want one, second, etc. And I was 5th, so 1 fell to me. I bought it, and I was like, I wish I had this as my pre-release pack. But I don't know. Still really enjoyable. Not saying it was bad or like overall, but I feel like I enjoyed set 1 a little more.
Yeah, you want to go first?
Yeah, I agree. Set 1 for me was like a little bit better, especially the leaders were better, like for all the other cards. Because I felt like I did play one time with Moff Gideon, and I was just like struggling to really get his ability off at some points. Because like, yeah, I had a few 3 drops, but like I didn't have that many 3, less than 3 drops and stuff. And a lot of times I didn't really care about the 1 damage because I was already trading, and the 1 extra damage, unless it overwhelmed, wasn't doing anything. So didn't really get it off that much. So I felt like the set 1 leaders were better for the overall set to do a pre-release. These ones are more trickier because even if you get Mandalorian, it's like, Mando, like, how many upgrades do you have? I didn't really pull many upgrades because that was one of my options. I've had a bunch of upgrades. I was like, okay, let me do that, but I didn't, so I couldn't really play him. So it kind of felt bad. Where Luke and Vader are just heroes and villainy, and you're gonna get the heroes and villainy cards you need. So a lot easier to get those off. But yeah, other than that, like, because everything is like so niche in this next set with like the keywords and like how everything plays, it was very tough to get really good combos. Like I had a few cards that were good combos, but like I never got them off. Like I never got the 1-2 cards you needed to do a nice combo.
Yeah, I think it's easier to get the the more cohesive deck with Imperials and Rebels, as opposed to like there are a bunch of different Underworld and Mandalorian stuff for this set that you can use on both sides, but like does it synergize as well as straight up just 1 tag?
Mm-hmm.
And going off of that, no, I think that the pre-release leaders are I'd say considerably less effective in this format, especially like I want a lot of the starter cards that come with Mandalorian. Like I think that the starter deck for the Mandalorian is pretty good. Playing him in limited with the pulls that you get are kind of hit or miss, and like Flock said, Moff Gideon's kind of whatever. And we had a conversation about this a couple times over the weekend, where I was saying that I really like Sealed this set or this game. Sealed is really fun, and I love Sealed, and I'd rather do Sealed over Draft because I'm greedy and I don't want to give my cards away. But I came out of the weekend going, yeah, probably Draft is better. If you're looking at a cohesive overall deck that you specifically can craft, instead of just like opening your packs and going, well, this sucks, which I did twice this weekend. And I like, I don't know. I think it just shows more skill too. Like the skill cap is better, and
yeah,
I had more fun the first one.
It's definitely like tough. Like you think about your 3rd pre-release, like I mean, you even had like a good Cad Bane Underworld deck, but it was like the guy across from you got Boba with like a Crate Dragon and like a Poe and like a Wrecker. And it was just like
two IGs, and you're like, all right.
Yeah, just like all right. I mean, that is the case for any sealed pool. Like even for set 1, like sometimes I played a Vader Blue one time, and then I played against Scott, who had 2 Ramp cards and 2 OB cards, and it was like, good game. Your Vader came out like 2 turns earlier than me, and you overwhelmed Barrage for 7. And so, I wasn't able to do anything. But yeah, I think a large part of it is like what you said, is even if you didn't pull a lot of hero or villain cards for Luke or Vader, especially Vader, you could just run them and still just have this huge Vader being a 5/7 come out and just swings, even if you don't get his ability off that much before that. Whereas this is a little more niche. I had a really good yellow hero pull at one time, and then I had literally no upgrades in any of my colors. So I was just like, I mean, I guess you could argue like maybe you still just run him as a 4/7 leader, and like, I don't know, and he's just blank. And he was the only yellow hero I had. I didn't pull any. I didn't pull a single Fennec Shand, actually.
I didn't pull a single Bosk,
which is funny. Yeah, they're both commons there.
Yep.
But I mean, pre-release was a blast. I especially do Clone Wars. They like we did the first one. They were all best of 3s, and we did 4 of them. And all of us at the end of that were like, never again. And then we did 3 this time, but they were best of 1s, so it felt a lot more manageable, and I felt pretty okay.
Yep.
Dude, set 4, And like we're even missing one tonight. There's one at another local store, but I was like, I did 3. Like I'm pretty content. Clone Wars, dude. I'm about to do like 30. How can I fit 30 in a week? That's the question.
Yeah. Yeah, I got out of my car on the way back from our last pre-release, and I said to Jack, I was like, "Remember the last time we were like, we did 4, and we're not doing this again. We're going to do like 1 or 2, and then we did 3, and then next set I was like, I really want to stick with 1 or 2, and Jack was like, let's Clone Wars."
But Best of 1 is also like fine. Like we played 10 games this weekend.
Yeah.
Whereas when we did it before, if you did 2-1, you were playing 3 per round, and it was best of 4. So like we could play 12 games the first night if they all went to best of 1 because we did 4 rounds. So it's like in one night of a best of 3, you could play more than than we did all weekend, which I think factored into it.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah.
This one was much more manageable, but I had less fun.
I had less fun just because like
yeah,
my pulls were a little janky.
Super dude.
Yeah. All right. Any other thoughts on pre-release?
No.
Cool. All right, we're gonna hop over and just kind of touch on the updated rules. They came out with the new comprehensive rules. There's really, truly not a lot. Do not think hard about these. Do not stress about these. Basically, they add in smuggle, bounty, and capture abilities. And one of the ways that they add in capture is they change the way leaders work and come in and out of play a little bit. But as you can see, this is the article that they put up. You can head to their website, click news, and this is like the second or third article on there. But it just talks about, yeah, they add new rules for the keywords bounty and smuggle, respectively, in 7.15.13 and 7.5.14, if you want to check that out. Quality of life, you may be like, what does that mean? Truly, it's very, very basic stuff. And if you've been playing the game, you probably don't need to reread it. Like I was going through, and FFG actually does an excellent job of updating their documents. I don't know if you guys ever take a peek, but anything new is highlighted in red. Mm-hmm. And one of them was looking, it was like cost, under the cost section, and it was talking about when you deploy your leaders. They clarified that it doesn't cost anything. So it was like, okay, everybody playing at like every event generally kind of knew that, but I'm sure there were some people who are like new to CCGs or something like that who maybe got caught up on that. So when they're talking about quality of life stuff, to me that's like really what they were fixing. And then they also changed the like nested ability. I forget what it was called, but now it's it was previously nested actions, but now it's nested abilities. And so this basically just says you know, the go-to is Rebel Assault. Rebel Assault, you pick Leia, you resolve her when this unit completes an attack, or whatever hers exactly is, on attack or when this unit completes an attack. You resolve that, so you attack with another unit with her ability before you go and pick the second target for Rebel Assault. So that's kind of what it means. But if there's new triggers within it, you resolve them first before going to the next half of that. Now, there are things where you have to like complete things fully. Like especially if it's a cost of something. So common question has been like Han Solo with Stolen Land Speeder, or Han Solo with like a Crafty Smuggler or L337. You do the 2 damage before anything else is triggered. So you can't like play the Land Speeder, give it to them, and then still do 2 damage to get it back. So you get a free, was that be a 4-3?
Yeah. So
that doesn't happen. And you also can't like play a Crafty for 1, ping the shield off, and it's just a 2-2. That is not the case. You would have to complete his thing fully before you do that. I think that's that. And then probably the big thing, and then this is where I can, you know, almost get your guys' thoughts on too, because the other stuff, again, mostly clarification, is a rules adjustment. Leader units are now considered to enter play when they are deployed and leave play when they are defeated. So this does not mean they are a played card. So, for example, when you deploy Sabine, it does not count for Fighters for Freedom, because they enter play, but they are not played, if that makes sense, right? It's not a card you play from hand, but they are entering play. And this matters because the old rule of leaders never leaving play is that technically if you captured somebody and your leader never left play, how would that unit get back how would that unit get back into play? So to clarify this, it is simultaneous, it's instant. So, you know, just trying to think of like edge case scenarios of you have a Emperor's Royal Guard with 3/4 on it, if you deploy Palp, there's not like a split second where it drops down to 4 and becomes defeated. It is always going to have that +1 defense. And so, yeah, now they enter and leave play. The two areas that this actually only affects are both Bobas. Boba Leader from set 1 and Boba Unit from set 1. Boba Leader, it's a buff too, because before, previously, leaders didn't leave play. So when you killed them, you couldn't trigger his resource return. So that's a slight buff to him, because now it does. And then the other half is Boba Unit. Since they were always in play, he could like ECL after they attacked and like one-shot Sabine, one-shot any 6 health leader. But now he can't. He's got to wait a turn. You know, obviously you can do that the next turn. But the turn they deploy, you're not able to do that because they just entered play, technically. So any thoughts on any of those things for you guys? Again, nothing crazy, but...
People are blowing this way out of proportion. People are like losing their mind, saying the sky is falling. Man, this is one specific instance, and in fact, like I'll take it a step further. Right? Say that you're playing against Boba. Anything can die, and you still get those resources, right? Like if you kill the leader, it's like, okay, I mean it's so minute, it doesn't matter. I would say. I think the Boba unit, that's like a little tough, but at the same time, this is such a minute change. People are blowing this way out of proportion.
Agreed.
Yeah. I mean, yes, it is a very slight buff to Boba, but I don't think it, like, shifts the needle anywhere. Like, Boba was going to be good set 2. Like, this doesn't make him better. I think he just...
People are like, Boba needed the buff. Like, and that was all, like, when they did their stream for the comprehensive rules upgrade. That chat was so dumb.
Popping off.
So, I love when people were like, does this mean I can ECL my leader out? And, like, all this other... Does this mean... What was the other example? People were making up wild scenarios in their heads. It was like, if I play... What was it? I don't remember what. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. Sky's not falling. Game's fine. Boba's still good. Boba's going to be good anyways. Yes, there's, like, slight scenario. Like, the only time it matters is when, like, Boba really wanted to, like, delete a leader. And, you know, he didn't get to stand 2 again or something like that. But, yeah. You're fine. You're still you're going to lose to Boba anyways. You're just going to lose to him in a different way, maybe slightly now.
It's going to be okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone can just woosah. The next set's almost out. We're almost there. Yeah. It's okay.
And other than that, I mean, that was pretty much it for the rules. Again, the biggest change just really affected 2 current cards and allowed for capture to function in a real way in the game. So, yeah, we'll move on. Let's go to set 2. Let's talk set 2. And just really curious, like, what do you bring in? What do you expect in? Say we don't have a 1K like we did before, right? Set 1 dropped and we had a 1K like a week or 2 later.
Yeah.
So it was like we were practicing, we were thinking about the meta, how to evolve. We don't have that, so this is all like theory for us. But say 2 weeks from now, you know, releases in 2 days, and then 2 weeks after that, we have one. I mean, we do have a big event coming up. We have Gen Con that we do need to practice for. So it's like, in your mind, where's your mind at for meta? What do you want to test into? What are you expecting? Like, what do you almost want to bring to the table because you feel like the meta is going to be a certain way?
Flock, what do you think?
Flock, what's the meta? Come on.
What's the meta,
buddy? The meta's going to be... Well, I'm thinking Gen Con, it should be set, I'm guessing, right?
What do you mean?
Somewhat. Like, a decent meta, like, knowing what are the going to be the top leaders is probably going to be set by then, close to then.
I think it's going to be pretty open, because there's, like, no events before that.
Yeah.
Aside from, like, if there's any 1Ks or 5, because no showdowns or anything will happen before then, or maybe they happen, like, the weekend before.
Oh, it's actually less than a month now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually less than a month.
Like
I was still thinking it's
3 weeks.
Oh wow, yeah, yeah. So
we'll be in the air right now.
True. Yeah, it's gonna be it's actually gonna be pretty close to like an open meta. Because yeah, there's gonna be people messing with decks trying to figure it out. Because even so, like it still took us to like the end of set 1 to really like find even Boba Blue, and Boba Blue is actually a really good deck. So like, it's gonna be very fun to see like how this season goes, like what people will do to destroy some of the old leaders, and then to see how they mesh with the new leaders. I'm really excited to see that because all we did, you got to play with the new only the new leaders. So I'm really excited about all the mixed match of new and old leaders and see what you can do with all the new cards with the old leaders. So I'm probably gonna stick with a new leader, probably, just for the funs of it. But unless I find like my IG88 pops off, baby. So I'm definitely gonna find a
Probably won't.
deck.
Just play Kylo.
I'm gonna try.
It for sure depends on what I pull. If I happen to find a showcase in my X amount of boxes, then I'll play that. If I'm being realistic,
but you also buy 3 more, so it's like you'll actually have 3 to 4 choices of what showcase.
I don't know, man. If these prices I'm looking at right now hold, I don't know, brother. These are some out the gate wild prices. But I don't know. Technically, I'm thinking maybe Han, maybe Kylo. I am actually really interested in the Mandalorian. Apparently, I should be playing Afro. Apparently, is the most underrated deck in the game. But
shout out to Rebel Trader's intro on his Afro deck. Take the initiative. That was funny. You'll see Brian's beautiful face.
Yeah, I stand by it.
Once the video started, I was like, one of us is going to be in there. Who's it going to be? We all trashed her.
Yeah, we all trashed her.
Yeah.
My face. I got a face for
You're the Ewok guy.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. It could be anything. I'm going against my better judgment here, and I think I want to play aggro this set. Just because I'd like to stick to something, and I think aggro will be great in the sense that either win fast or lose fast. You know.
Definitely something to be said for playing hard control at an 8-round tournament or whatever it might end up being.
It's tough. It's
a long day.
At the 5K we did 5. Was it 5 rounds?
1K 5 rounds.
Yeah, at the 5K, 1K. 1K did 5 rounds of Palpatine, and I went to time like every time. It wasn't because I was playing slow or anything. It just happens to be those games are grindy and long and arduous. But I don't know. I think I want to switch it up this set. Fast and dirty.
Yeah, I mean, I think so far from what I've seen is Kylo's good, but loses to control a little bit more. He can beat mid-range and aggro a little bit better. Whereas Sabine, because Kylo's going all in on like 1 unit out there and like trying to pump damage through that ability, where Sabine's going a little bit more wide. Yeah, I mean, I think Sabine's just gonna be good. She arguably like Red Hero feasted in a sense of Poe, Wrecker, Cassian, and then Darksaber because we're staying in green. Yeah, I mean, I think Sabine's going to be a great choice. It's certainly going to be in there. I'm really curious to see how like mid-range plays out. I think mid-range will be there. I know some people have gotten worried, especially like towards the end, a little bit of even set 1 of like mid-range kind of got pushed out a little bit just due to the fact of how good the control decks were. But I think Boba will be very relevant, Boba Yellow especially. Green is actually going to take some work to see like where does this fall. And I'm curious. ECL, love it. We'll definitely start with it a lot of times, but I think we might see a rise of 30 HP bases, especially with Poe and Wrecker coming into the meta. But I'm just curious how. Like, where does Bo-Katan fall? Where does Mandalorian fall? Where do, like, these mid-range leaders fall? I think Boba's so good, he'll make it and stand, especially in Cunning, because Cunning's insane. The color as a whole. But, yeah. I mean, the first 2 decks that I'm building that I want to build are Kira Green and Han Green, which I did deck techs on them. Go check them out. Both of those are a little bit more, Kira's the Krennic Iden shell that you've seen, just improved, I think. And Han is like Han Green, which is like a ramp control in Hero that you really haven't seen that finishes with Crate Dragon. So
I think the Mandalorian has room to be good. I think the Mandalorian has room to be annoying. So I don't know. You just play in the hook grades and just Voltron the Mandalorian, and
I think he's got legs.
My concern is that, like, if that happens, and, like, Chert, too. I'm a Chert lover, so, I want to play him. It's like, the second they become, like, meta, at like control decks. All right, two
Rare
rivals
rivals
fall on my
fall,
deck.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
whether it's main deck or sideboard. So maybe you sneak game 1 or something. But it just feels like they've got so many tools that it's hard to deal with.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm excited for upgrades. I'm excited to mess with them. Like actually good ones now.
It doesn't
Yeah.
feel like we got like. I'm even trying to
Fun.
think like what are some of the good ones? Like Mando is good because it taps, and like Mando's rifle with Mando is insane.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are some of the upgrades from set 2 that like?
Just Darksaber, really. I mean,
And the
Jetpack actually
blaster.
did some work.
The
Hot
blaster.
Shot Blaster, yeah, that's what it is.
Like I'm really gonna like Hot Shot Blaster. That's just shot like surprise wins, you know. I can see like a Hot Shot Blaster and like Cassian where you could basically just deploy
here he
Cassian
goes.
ready and then, you know, Hot Shot Blaster and then kablam, you know? You don't see all that damage coming. So
I think that Jetpack actually has some decent legs too.
Yeah.
+2 and a shield for the round. Trade with something. I mean, it's a little slower, and upgrades in general are going to be a little slow, but
No, I mean I think that's pretty. I think the shield could be. I know it's smuggled for 4 now to get that temp shield, but it does make it so it's like you're generally protected for a round. Of that, you know, I know blue removal can always get around shields and stuff, but yeah. I'm trying to think like what else. I mean, there's Boba Fett's armor as well.
Mandalorian armor's pretty decent.
Yeah, like Mando, like
Defensively.
that's what like I just remember. I don't know, blue just like getting a bunch, like the grapple shot and like Foundling or like super mid, inspiring mentors like super mid.
Yeah.
Um,
Inspiring Mentor is so annoying that it's a rare. You're going to get so many
Yep,
of
I
those.
keep getting it. And all that, dude, I got that at least in every pre-release pool as one of mine.
Yep.
The Van Brace flamethrower is kind of interesting, but like I think 3 for 1/1, even though the on attack is good, is still a little like weird.
Heroic Resolve's good.
I'm curious to see where that finishes. Like, do I just play Heroic Sack, which is faster, does less damage, you don't get the overwhelm, but you do draw a card off that.
But you
And it's
lose a
cheaper.
unit too.
Yeah,
Legal
true. You do
Authority.
lose. You know, you're sacrificing the unit, whereas Heroic Resolve, you just defeat the upgrade.
Frozen and Carbonite, Prison. Like, these things are... I'm interested to see where those end up.
Frozen Carbonite is just hard for me because it doesn't hit leaders, and whereas No Good to Me Dead does, and No Good to Me Dead costs 1 less.
Yep. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we'll see. Yeah, I guess even like circling back to the original like question of what are you expecting set 1. I think if you're building and trying to prep for something within 3 weeks, Sabine Green. I mean, really, actually, all the Sabines, because I like Sabine Red, even like getting Bo-Katan, getting the like the Rancor coming in. Like, there's some interesting options. So Sabine in multiple forms, I think Green will be the best, but I think the other options look pretty good. Blue-green villain, I think Kira's the best, but I'm sure people are still going to play Krennic and Iden. Trying to think what else. Boba Yellow, going to be insane, as always. Boba Green likely still round because you get the ramp with Boba. Some of these hard controls, like you know, Flock mentioned Boba Blue coming around late. I bet that gets looked at earlier in the set. You know, I bet like Palp gets looked at earlier.
I don't know what Palp's definitely getting better, but I think that's going to take some definite fine tuning to figure out where the balance of that deck's going to be. Whether it's mono, whether it's blue, whether it's, you know.
Mono, I think those are the 2 areas I would look. But though yellow does seem pretty interesting as well, with like stealing units and sacking them and throwing them around and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Ray. I actually think Ray is going to be like an interesting like hero control that has like a lot of restore to get to the end game and then can play like Crate Dragon and stuff like that.
Oh,
I don't know.
Ray Aggression. That's interesting.
Yeah, Ray Aggression is what I'm thinking. Yeah, mono blue hero still seems like it's just like
A waste of time.
yeah, not much going.
You
Like
end your
villain kind of
turn-
has like the dirtle control milieu
Yeah.
with vigilance, and I guess Ray could try that too because she has like the restore and stuff. But I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of different avenues you could try. And I think the nice thing about this set, much like the last set, there's really only like 2 stinkers. maybe 3
Of what?
leaders.
Of leaders. Yeah, but it's like hard too, because it's like, you know, when we did our tier list, like, yeah, who'd we put? Finn,
Afra,
Afra.
and Hunter.
and Hunter at the bottom 3. But it's like, even like, I don't know. Does Gar really find a spot? Does Hondo? Does Jabba? Like, does Gideon? Does Boba? Like, Bosk at least has that unique bounty thing going, to where like if there is a bounty deck, it's gonna at least be him.
Please
Like
don't talk smack on Jabba like that, because Jabba's gonna be great. All right.
Does Fennec? Does Lando? Like, does Mandalorian? Like, all those are like decent characters, but I'm just like, where do they fall? Is kind of like, I don't know.
I'm really excited for Twin Sons this set, personally. I think the Twin
Doubling the
Sons-
amount of leaders for Twin Sons is pretty lit.
It's gonna pop off,
Yep.
and I think that we should play more personally. Maybe not. record
Agreed.
them, I don't have to record them. But,
Agreed.
I don't know.
Flock's just gonna cry the whole time. The new strategy is just to kill Flockton because he's
Dude,
too
that's
unpredictable.
That's literally the strategy. Just
Yeah,
get me.
because Flock, when we leave you around, nobody knows what you're gonna do ever. We
Flock,
just
like,
gotta kill
Fun
you.
part. That's the
I can-
fun part.
I can kill this person. I'll use all my resources. I have nothing on the board. I'll kill this person. Take that unit out. For funsies, I don't know.
Yes.
But yeah, Premier though the leaders. I think you have a point. Not everyone's going to be a home run, but they will be a lot of fun in casual. That's for sure. I'm looking forward to, all that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, set 1, I feel like it's still the same of those leaders coming out. Yeah, just add Han, Ray, Cad. I do think Boba like has interested me. Set 2 Boba, like all those extra buffs from keywords interest me a lot. Kira's gonna be good, Ray. So yeah,
Yeah, I want to play all these.
There's
all
lots
these.
there's a lot to test, especially into an open meta with no source championships. And I'm sure there might be like 1Ks and 5Ks like around the country that we're not aware of, because I don't know about the 1Ks on the West Coast and Central America and stuff like that that'll take place between now and Gen Con. But there actually is, the Baltimore, gosh, who's running that? They ran one of the events before, SCG or something, Star City Games, I believe. Was running one of the events like the weekend before Gen Con. So that'll be a pretty good tell of like where are people at with the meta. What are they kind of bringing? And I do know some people who are going to Gen Con who are going to that as well. And I don't think it's going to be like a big hiding. You might not like bust out some of your secret tech, but like if you're planning to play Boba Yellow, Kira Green, Bout Blue at Gen Con, you probably should bring it to like a competitive tournament before that. So I would think you're going to get to see like a lot of people.
Not our style.
But yeah, we do swap around a lot.
We pick the day of.
Yeah.
I'm so bad with that.
Mine is like I just try to read the meta too much, especially like early on. Like I was trying to read the meta at like a 1K in the second week of the game. It's like, bro, just play what you're comfortable with. Well, I mean, I had games on Sabine and Boba, so it was like I probably was fine either way. But yeah, just get reps on something, get comfortable with it, and if you're going to Gen Con, probably play that.
Cross your fingers, cross your toes.
Flock's gonna have that Fennec Shan ready to go. Someone's
Yep.
gonna get flocked by him round 1, and they're just gonna be like, "What?
Yeah,
You
dude.
can't go
Flock's gonna be like,
X2 and get a
"Station's good."
playmat. Can't go X2 and get a playmat." So the dream's alive. If you
My
lose 2
God.
games, still play.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
But yeah. So speaking of Gen Con, I mean, I think any other thoughts on like set 2?
Not right now.
Yeah.
We'll come back a bit.
Yeah, we'll come back and do like more in depth. But I almost want to try to give any listeners like an idea of like, hey, this is what you can look forward to with testing and stuff like that. Oh, I guess
wait.
here let's do a hard answer though. Week 1 locals.
I was gonna say,
what are
yeah.
you bringing?
I don't know.
Kira
Locking
Green. Again, showcase withstanding. That'll be
Yeah, showcase was,
obviously. Yeah.
Showcase,
Kira Green
that
will
was
be
great.
my first build likely.
Boss Blue.
I have no
maybe
clue.
Mandalorian Blue.
Flock,
I
are you
kinda
going to
like-
be in America for the first local?
Actually, no, I won't.
What are you
it
going to
depends.
stomp
It
Ireland
depends.
with?
Today, I was told to potentially get ready to move my flight again for like the 4th time. So I'm supposed to be leaving Sunday night, but they could say push it back till Tuesday. Depends on when my visa gets here. Ireland's taking their sweet old time to send me it.
But before you say anything, what a wild concept that week 1 is Monday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Monday.
that came up. It doesn't feel fast, but now it feels fast.
I mean,
'cause
week
it's
one
here.
could be Saturday for some people. There's some people who do weeklies.
Week 1 is gonna be Saturday for me. Friday's whatever.
Oh yeah, we gotta figure out when.
Not
we're
like
games.
weekly
Fridays.
weeklies, but like we're
Basement
we're
League
playing.
is as serious as it gets.
League is the real
Truly.
deal.
So I said Kira, you said Bosk, Flock said I don't know in the classic.
I
Flock.
mean, I actually, after playing Boba, I actually kind of liked Boba. It was kind of fun. I feel like a lot of the leaders that, for me personally, that like don't really take a lot of thought into them is probably better for me. So like
That's true.
Gar Saxon would probably be a good one for me because it's like, oh, if I get to get upgraded, it's now +1 and it's easy. So I probably prefer those kind of leaders. So, but
You've never
I know
played
Boba
Krennic
now.
once. Krennic is just +1 if you're damaged. Where was that?
yeah, but he's more control. I don't want to do a control though.
Gary might lean a little bit just by the nature of being in blue villain.
Yeah, so I don't like control.
But he could be more unit control.
Mid to aggro, so
Yeah.
but
Yeah. All right, cool.
I love control. They're all so fun.
Speaking of Gen Con, we're going to roll into very exciting news. There's a 2024 convention exclusive. This will be at the San Diego Comic-Con, at Gen Con, at Spiel, at PAX West, and at PAX Unplugged. So we're going to hit it twice. But as you can see, the box on screen, the packaging just right off the bat looks phenomenal. This looks like I'm buying like a steel disc for some type of movie or TV show. This thing looks
Steelbook.
awesome. Steelbook, yes. And
Steelbook.
we get 6 cards in here. 6 cards. 2 are new cards that we don't know the true rarity of. All of these have S because remember S means special, not necessarily starter. But there's 2 legendaries and 2 rares of the 4 cards that we do know. And you can only get 1 at each event, and they're $100. They did post an article kind of showing this a little bit on their website, so you can go ahead and check this out too after you're done checking out the updated comprehensive rules. But yeah, we'll just kind of go through and look at these real quick, not spending too much crazy time. But the first one is a Saj, which is a spoiler for set 3. 4 cost ground unit, aggression, villainy, Count Dooku's assassin, forced, separatist, and Sith. Exploit 2, spicy. 2 attack, 4 health, and on attack, if you've attacked with another separatist unit this phase, this unit gets +3, +0 for this phase. And again, the rarity is S out of 6 because it's from that pack.
Special.
Yeah, what did I say?
Special rare. Special. No, I'm just saying special
S,
rarity.
yeah, special. S is for
Yep.
special. It used to be starter, but they changed that pretty quickly.
S is for Snoke.
S is for Snoke. I mean, right off the bat, this artwork, we'll see more of these as they go through, but this artwork looks phenomenal. The characters absolutely just pop off the stage. This looks amazing. And, I mean, before we get into is this worth $100, we'll go through everything before we come back. All of us are going to buy this anyways.
It is.
Yeah. By the way, S is for Stormtrooper. In case
Jack's making me buy this. I wasn't going to, and now apparently I am.
Wait, yes, you're buying it, and then I will take it from you. I got
No,
dibs.
100%.
I mean, I'll pay you the $100.
Oh,
You do it there, and
But yeah, then you do it at PAX O'Brien.
Yeah,
there we go.
easy.
There we go.
Got you guys.
There we go. Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. Worked out. Yeah, because we'll get a Gen Con, and then PAX Unplugged is in our backyard, so we'll be going there. Next is Count Dooku, who is set 1. The blue villain as we've seen. Again, looks amazing. He pops off the art. Like, this makes him center and front. Like, this looks so good. Have Kylo coming out in set 2. So here's a legendary. As we talked about, Dooku is a rare. I'm not going to read through them because they're current cards or cards coming out in a few days. And here's another new card, which is Darth Maul. Revenge at Last. 5 cost ground unit, aggression, villainy, and 4 Sith. 5 attack, 6 health. This unit can attack 2 units instead of 1. I assume it'll all be simultaneous, but we'll probably just need clarification for that. Of, damage dealt. Back to him.
Yeah, you were too quick at knowing those aspects. Like, I go by the color, and then I turn it into the name, and you're looking at it and you said,
They
mind
match
blown,
the,
dude.
They match the other 2 aggression units.
They're black and white.
Yeah, but the symbols.
I
are the
will
same.
say though, like in a pinch, it'll be like, what is that?
Yeah.
What is that?
So
I mean,
don't
but
know.
once we have Maul and Asajj, you'll
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
have
yeah.
them locked in more. Like Dooku, I know is blue villain, right? You know,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you know that, but he is blue.
My only gripe about this pack is that Dooku's in it. I wish it was Snoke instead.
Well,
But
let's,
then you got what, 3 legendaries?
let's finish our last one, and then
Oh, go ahead.
we'll say
Go ahead.
our last 2, and then we got Emperor Palpatine, aggression villain, you know, from set 1, and then we finish off with Darth Vader from set 1, the legendary, and you know, command villain flock if you weren't sure.
I still don't know.
Yeah, but again, all this looks amazing. So what we know is 2 legendaries, 2 rares. Again, we don't know what Asajj and Maul are, but Vader and Kylo are legendaries. Dooku and Palp are rares. Dude, Vader alone is like worth this. $100 for 2 legendaries and also like exclusive to events, the conventions. Like, dude, this thing's gonna fetch money. You could just buy this and probably just resell it and pay for your Gen Con trip. It's gonna be hard to hold on to this, but I think I will because I'm a sucker for collectors.
Well, not only am I holding on to it, I'm getting the playset, baby.
That's what I mean. Yeah, you know, we would get one at Gen Con. One of us gets the other one from from Flock.
I don't know. If the price goes up, I might be selling it.
Well, that was why I said you were going to sell that because, dude, you buy this. This thing is going to go. Oh my gosh, dude! Like Kylo and Vader combined alone, base cards are probably
Currently right
like
now,
100 or
Vader's-
maybe like just
Vader-
under. How much is Vader? 60.
Vader's 60 currently.
So
and
Kylo's
Kylo
probably going to
Ren-
drop to like 20. Like
Kylo's
realistically,
gonna be
it'll probably be 20.
23. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll
Yeah,
also
and
be
it-
more expensive that you're talking about it because not going to do the reprint. So Vader's already high. To begin
Well,
with.
Vader. I mean, so when the reprint happens, maybe that his value comes down. But this will be in before. Well, actually,
Yeah, I
maybe
know,
not
so-
PAX Unplugged. Maybe not PAX Unplugged.
True, but like is it a Gen Con, right?
Yeah, it's that
The
Gen Con.
the Gen Con one, it'll be before the reprint because the reprint I thought was like November. So
Yeah.
by
sometime around
Gen-
holidays.
yeah, by PAX Unplugged, it's already going to be down to earth. But yeah,
I mean, but still, I don't think like Vader goes crazy down. He probably still sits at like a $45, $50 legendary. And
Oh,
again,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
talking exclusive, event exclusive. This is like one of a kind stuff you can get right now. Like, if you buy this and want to resell this, you probably will get a decent amount. And ideally, I mean, obviously, not trying to advocate you go and buy just to resell. Like, ideally, the people who buy this like can get to play with it and stuff like that. Like, not trying to advertise like scalping things. But like I truly do get it. Like if you buy this and you could sell it for $500, $600, $700, that's hard to
I'm
pass
not
up.
gonna, but I understand.
yeah.
I want the playset, so I'm in for the
We already
long haul.
messaged the unplayable guys, and Jay's like, "I got my dad coming,"
Yeah.
and Mike's like, "Can he buy it for me?"
Yeah. And I like that it's one per person, so it's not like
Yeah, I am
that
worried
scalpable.
about Thursday. Like we're playing a Thursday big event. We want these obviously, so I hope there's some form of way. It's already been talked about that Spiel is going to be like a queue, an online queue. So you know, maybe there's something like that that'll make it easier. Where I get in the queue, I have it reserved. I can stop by at any point during the day to go and pick up my copy.
Allard, I might just be making a trip anyway. I don't know.
Yo, I wonder if those Spiel ones are going to be in German.
They're English. They're confirmed English.
Oh dang! All right, never mind.
It's super duper tempting. I did rush my passport last time for no reason, so like maybe I actually use it.
When is Spiel? That's like September, October.
It's October. It starts October 3rd.
Hey, if that gets
And-
in before the reprints, dude, that could play for like your plane ticket potentially,
Yeah.
depending on the price.
October 3rd is the last day of Oktoberfest. So
Oh, I remember.
You-
Yeah, I remember talking. About
so you go a couple days before Spiel and you can do Oktoberfest, which is I think normally in Munich, and then you can go
So
over
Tyler and
to
I are
Essen
going on a long
for
weekend,
Spiel.
basically.
yeah, so you guys.
Let's go, dude.
So
Yeah.
we leave on the 28th.
Yeah, we leave like that.
That afternoon.
Probably. Yeah,
This
Yeah.
cat, sorry.
definitely doable. I'd be down.
And Availability or legality of these cards, you can use the 4 ones that are legal right away, but Maul and Asajj obviously won't be legal until set 3, actually. Twilight of the Republic actually comes out. But yeah, exclusive visual treatment that you won't find anywhere else. I mean, I'm a hero side guy too, so I hope we get this for some hero side units.
Gonna have to.
I would think so.
Don't matter to me.
True. But yeah, buying this looks great. If you're a player, a collector, definitely seems worth it. Like I said, in the price alone, $100 for potentially 3 legend. Like we clocked it at likely $80 just for Vader and Kylo. Add in a 3rd legendary. On top of them then being exclusive, this will be worth it. But yeah,
Huge. I'm very excited.
Huge.
huge. All right, any other thoughts? We're at an hour here, covering a good amount of stuff.
Nope.
Coolio.
It's like Christmas Eve to me.
I know, we're so close. So close.
So close.
All right. Yeah, then if we got nothing, check out our midnight live stream, because this will be posted on Thursday, not Friday. So be sure to tune in. Jeremy did last time, so hopefully I already pressured Xander and said, Jeremy did last time. You have to this time. So maybe they pop in and say hello, but it was fun to have people kind of talk about what we pulled, what we're excited to play, what decks we want to build, and also laugh at us for not pulling a single showcase. So, yeah, tune into that. On Wednesday, I posted the Kira Command deck tech. Thursday, Han Command will also go up. I don't know on the timings. This will probably be first. Han Command maybe bit later in the day. But yeah, that's all I got. You guys got anything else?
No.
God, I hope I get a showcase.
Good luck with everyone's polls.
Yes. May the pulls ever
May
be
the
in your
odds
favor.
be forever in your favor. Yeah.
Wrong.
Yeah,
Wrong
be ever in
series,
your
guys.
favor.
May your pulls be with you. And also with you.